Ever wonder which words your cat actually understands when you speak to them? Most of us assume they only tune in for the rustle of a treat bag or the pop of a wet food can. But a groundbreaking study from Japan's Sophia University proved that cats actively learn and respond to specific words you use every single day. Even more surprising, one of these words, if used incorrectly, might be slowly breaking your cat's trust without you even realizing it. Let's start with the very first word they ever learned. 1. They know their own name. Have you ever called your cat only to watch them blink at you once and casually walk in the opposite direction? You probably assumed they just didn't understand. But they did. In fact, they absolutely did. In 2019, researcher Atsuko Saito and her team at Sophia University published a study that shattered our assumptions about feline language. After testing dozens of cats, they discovered something amazing. Cats can easily distinguish their own name from random words, and even from words of a similar length and sound. So why don't they always come running? Because cats simply aren't wired like dogs. Dogs were bred over centuries for obedience. Cats were never meant to obey. When your cat hears their name, they are actively making a choice. They weigh whether acknowledging you is worth their time based on past experiences. If their name usually brings good things, like food, playtime, or chin scratches, they're highly likely to come over. If it usually means getting shoved into a carrier or getting a bath, don't hold your breath. Your cat knows exactly who you're talking to. They're just deciding if you're worth the effort. 2. They know what no means. Ever notice how your cat freezes the second you say no? Maybe they were halfway up the curtains or about to swat a glass off the coffee table. You said the word, and they stopped. So, they clearly understand the rules, right? Well, yes and no. Your cat does learn what no means over time, but most owners completely misunderstand how it works. Cats aren't processing the moral concept of a rule. They are responding to the tone, volume, and emotional spike behind your voice. That sharp, sudden sound creates a negative association. They stop what they're doing simply to avoid a negative reaction from you. And this is the exact word that can break their trust. If you yell no too often, too loudly, or out of anger, your cat doesn't learn discipline. They learn fear. You become a source of unpredictable stress. Over time, they might start hiding, flinching when you move too fast, or ignoring you when called. You haven't taught them a lesson. You've accidentally rewired them to view your presence as a threat. The best cat parents use no calmly and sparingly. A short, firm tone. No yelling, no repeating it 5 times. Just one calm no, followed by redirecting them to something they can do, like a scratching post. That's how you set boundaries without destroying your bond. And hey, if this is making you rethink every conversation you've ever had with your cat, hit like and subscribe so we can share this with more cat owners who deserve to know what their cat actually hears. 3. They know what treat means. What's the magic word that summons your cat out of thin air? You already know. Treat. You could whisper it from 3 rooms away, and by the time you turn around, your cat is sitting at your feet, staring at you expectantly. This isn't just a cute quirk, it's hardcore science. Cats learn this through classical conditioning. It's the exact same psychological process Ivan Pavlov documented over a century ago when dogs started drooling at the sound of a bell. When a specific sound reliably predicts a specific outcome, the brain wires a direct connection. Sound equals food. No thinking required. It's an automatic reflex. The funny thing is, you probably didn't even realize you trained your cat to do this. You never held up flashcards. You just said, treat, right before handing them one. And your cat's highly food-motivated brain did the rest. But it goes even deeper than the word itself. Many cats build a complex chain of associations. They memorize the crinkle of a specific plastic bag, the squeak of a cabinet door, or even the distinct sound of your footsteps heading toward the kitchen at a certain time of day. The word is just the final, most obvious trigger in an elaborate alert system your cat designed all on their own. 4. They know your other cat's name. If you live in a multi-cat household, have you ever called out one cat's name and caught the other cat reacting? Maybe they glanced at their housemate, or looked toward the doorway the other cat usually walks through. You probably chalked it up to coincidence. It wasn't. In 2022, a research team led by Saho Takagi at Japan's Kyoto University published a study that absolutely stunned the animal behavior world. They discovered that cats who live together actually learn and recognize the names of their feline roommates. They don't just recognize the sound, they associate it with the specific identity of that cat. To prove this, researchers played an audio recording of a cat's name while showing either the correct cat or a completely different cat on a monitor. When the wrong cat appeared on screen, the test cat stared at the monitor significantly longer. In animal research, a prolonged stare means confusion. The cat's expectations were violated. They heard the name, expected a specific face, and instantly noticed when it didn't line up. Think about how incredible that is. Your cat has been quietly mapping out your household dynamic. They know exactly who is who and which name belongs to which furry face. Nobody taught them this. They figured it out just by living alongside you and paying attention to patterns you didn't even know you were creating. So, next time you call one cat and the other looks up, know that it's not random. They know exactly who you're talking to, and they are actively choosing to be nosy about it. 5. They know what "come here" means. Have you ever locked eyes with your cat from across the room, gently said, "Come here," and watched them actually trot over to you? Most owners laugh these moments off as a lucky coincidence. But what if your cat has understood this phrase for much longer than you realize? This is the final phrase on our list, and understanding it will completely change the way you view your pet. Cats aren't born with an instinct to come when called. Instead, over hundreds of tiny, everyday interactions, they connect those specific words with what happens next. You say, "Come here," and they get a warm cuddle. You say it, and they get scooped up. You say it, and they end up somewhere safe and comfortable. Your cat didn't learn this command from a textbook. They learned it directly from your shared history. And that's what makes "come here" so profoundly different from every other word on this list. Treat is driven by appetite. No is driven by avoidance. But "come here" is driven entirely by trust. When your cat hears those words and makes the conscious choice to walk toward you, they aren't just obeying a command. They are telling you that every past experience they've had with you has made them feel safe, loved, and eager to come back for more.